Thanks very much, guys. The first thing I'm going to have you guys do is everyone stand up where you are right now. Dave, can I borrow you for just a second? And then I want you to turn to your neighbor, put your right hand up, and then give him a big old high five. Big old high five. Nice. One more time. All right, now this time, turn to the other direction. Do it again, but this time when you do it, give me a big, loud, yeah! 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 All right, one more time. Turn around to the original person. Yeah! Baby. Give up. Come on. One more. Yeah! Nice, nice. Okay, keep standing. The reason why we're so excited today, keep standing. The reason why we're so excited to be here today is because this deck right here, this deck, I promise you, will be the most important deck of your business career. I can tell you that because it would have saved my business career. So we're excited to be here because we're going to save you guys all a lot of time and a lot of other people's money. Can I get a yeah for that? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so I got you all standing. Can I have one volunteer, please? One volunteer. Raise your hand. All right, well, we got a couple options here. Before we decide which one of you is going to do it, you should know the volunteer won't get to participate in the next activity and will get to spend all of her time doing menial manual labor. So which of you would like to be the volunteer? Fantastic. Kat, how do you come up here for just a second? And while she's doing that, Daniel, you got a joke that you can tell everybody?
How many kids with ADD does it take to screw a light bulb? Want to ride bikes? That's what I got. That I can tell on camera. Who else? Does anyone? Do you have a joke for me?
I had a really good joke.
Give it to me.
So two boys are doing a lot of vandalism in the local area, and a new pastor comes into the town, and so the parents say, well, let's scare the bejeebus out of these kids. So the pastor brings in Johnny and says, Johnny, do you know where God is? And Johnny looks at him in terror. Johnny, do you know where God is? And finally Johnny runs home and says, Timmy, they think that God's missing and we had something to do with it.
All right, I didn't do the joke, but I'm sure it was funny. All right, I want you guys all to do something with me, an exercise in becoming a great CEO. Great CEOs have three classic traits that we all think about. They have vision. They can see the future. They know their customers better than their customers know themselves. And they know that success comes from perseverance. No matter what happens, they keep on persevering. All right, so I want all of you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes for me. If I can see your eyes, they're not closed. Yeah, cheaters. All right, your eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. And now you're envisioning yourself as one of these CEOs. You can see the future. You know where the market is before your customers do. In fact, you know your customers so well, you know what problems they have. And you know what solutions they want. And you know that success comes from working so hard and giving up everything so that you can become the CEO of the year. So congratulations. Give yourselves a hand. Eyes closed. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're CEO of the year. Very good. And now someone from Fortune magazine is going to come up and they're going to take your picture. So while you're standing here, imagine what you're wearing as CEO. Now put yourself in the pose that you want on the front of Fortune magazine, CEO of the year. Put your pose. I see a lot of boring CEO poses. Eyes are closed. No one can see you but me, and I don't matter. CEO of the year. On the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. They snapped your picture. Now I want you to fucking kill yourself, because that is the last goddamn time you were ever going to be one of those CEOs. Open up your eyes. CEO's vision. Let's talk about vision for a second. Vision is 100% bullshit. You cannot see the future. None of the CEOs that you aggrandize, they can see the future. Let's talk about the one that always comes to mind, Mr. Steve Jobs, right? He can see the future. He knew that people wanted an iPhone before we even knew we wanted it, right? Bullshit. That is the Apple Newton, a giant failure. That is the first version of the iPhone. And this is what Apple built when they didn't know what their customers wanted, when they thought they had a vision of the future. It turns out that instead of having vision, instead of pretending like you know the future, you are better off understanding that you know nothing. As soon as you know that you know nothing, you are totally free to explore what the world really is. The sooner you can let go of your ego and pretend and forget pretending that you know what customers want, the sooner you can find out what they really want. All right? Can I get a yeah? Yeah. All right, thank you. All right, smarter than your customers. So this quote, has anyone heard this quote? It's, if I had asked customers what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, by Henry Ford. Raise your hands if you heard of that. Not half the room. Raise your hands if you know that Henry Ford never actually said that. Never said it. Yeah, it's totally fictitious. Now, he was still a dick about customers. It wouldn't surprise anybody if he did say it, but he never actually said this quote. So it turns out that's bullshit too. What's also true about this statement is that there's a car company, oh, sorry, that's not bullshit, it's horseshit in this case. There's a car company that exists largely because of this statement. Chevrolet. So Ford was going around kicking ass. What Henry Ford knew, it was not that they wanted faster horses, blah, blah, blah. What he made was cheaper cars. Customers wanted cheaper cars. And so with the advent of the assembly line, he could make cheaper cars. And that's what he did over and over and over and over again. Despite the fact that customers didn't want the same car over and over again. They wanted cars with different colors. They wanted cars with closed tops. And eventually, Chevy was born. Chevy was born to meet customer demand. So by being a dick about customers, he created his competition. So again, you know nothing. Your customers know everything. The sooner you can learn that, the sooner you will be successful. Yes? Yes, yes. Yeah. Everyone say yes, yes, yes. Okay, very good. Okay, now, number 3. Success is perseverance. This one's very simple. It's not about working yourself into the grave. It's about working smarter, and you work smarter by learning. There's no bullshit on this slide. You just learn smarter or work smarter by learning. So, you know nothing, your customers know everything, your job is not to persevere, it's to learn. Yeah? All right. So go ahead and sit down. Oh, actually, before you sit down, let's talk about success and what success looks like in the business world. Give me what's the best model of success in terms, like, what does success look like in terms of business? The most fundamental measure. Profit. Yeah, profit, cash flow, money. Underneath one of these chairs, and I want you to consider these chairs your business models. How many of you guys came in here with an idea? Having some sort of idea of what you want to build? Okay, the vast majority of you. Good. So this is how most entrepreneurs work, including myself. They come in with an idea. They come in with this chair. So each one of you has a chair. Consider that to be your business model. It could be edible condoms. It could be hula hoops for dogs. It could be whatever stupid idea you came in with today. Right? So go ahead and look at your chair. If you've got a name for your chair, for your business model, give it a name. Associate with it. Some of you have your coats on it. It's yours. And it turns out one of you is lucky. One of you has a business model with success in it. One of you has a business model with $10 taped underneath it. Go ahead, someone find it. Everyone look under your chair and look under your business model and see which one of you has $10 underneath it. Magna. Who's got it? Nobody's got it?
It's not there.
Not there. Good. Okay, so did anybody make $10 in the last 10 minutes while I was droning on? Magna did. Isn't that interesting? Our volunteer made $10. While we were all patting ourselves on the back, being CEOs, being visionaries, I don't know if you noticed, but Magna was looking under every single one of your fucking chairs for that $10. She was doing the hard work. She was evaluating all of your business models. Instead of picking one business model and sitting in it for 10 minutes, 10 years, 10 months, however long we normally do it, she was evaluating business model after business model after business model. That is how you become successful. That's how you don't waste time. That's how you don't release the Newton. For every one version of an Apple product we see, there are literally 100 of them inside Apple that we don't see. There are 10 that are actual real prototypes that are made that we never see. So the magic is that they make you think, we're so special. we've invented this out of the thin air and given it to you by the grace of God. But what's really happening is they are testing all the time. They're evaluating business models all the time. All right, so go ahead, take a seat. And we're just going to compare your old title to your new title. So your old title was CEO. You thought vision was important. You thought you were smarter than your customers. Thought you knew what they wanted before they knew what they wanted. And you thought perseverance was the key. From now on, though, you're not chief executive officers. From now on, you're chief learning officers. That's your role. Your role is just to learn. Turns out you know only one thing, and that's that you know nothing. I promise you, I know it's a hit to your ego. We're all very smart people. You wouldn't be in this room if you weren't smart people. The sooner that you can recognize that you know nothing, the sooner you can figure out what you need to know. Oops. What you need to know is how to operate this thing. All right. What you need to know is that customers know everything. That's really it. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones who are going to pay your bills. It doesn't even matter what you know. It doesn't even matter that you're right. The Newton was a great invention, but customers didn't want it, so it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what customers know. And that success is learning. I'll say it over and over again. I'll repeat myself until I'm blue in the face. Success is not executing. It's not shipping. It's not raising goddamn money, that's for sure. Success is learning about your customers, and that will turn into money. All right, so the reason why I'm such an asshole about all this stuff is because this is my story. I was at Microsoft. I was there for 5 years, and I'm a fucking smart guy. I'm super smart. I was really good at being a nerd and being a computer nerd. I was really good at Microsoft. They promoted me like crazy, and so I knew everything. And it turns out I had an idea when I left Microsoft, and so I had this chair, this beautiful idea that I had. It turns out I had a customer too. So I wasn't totally dumb, right? It's like I actually had a customer. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a seat here. You know, if it turns out this customer doesn't work, I can always move. If there's no money under here, I can always change, right? So I had my customer. Not only did I have a customer, I had a paying customer. Right? I bet most of you don't even have a paying customer. I had a paying customer. This chair's getting real comfy now, right? Maybe there is some money underneath here. Maybe I will take a bet on this one. And I also knew that there were lots more customers, just like the one I had. And then I had the ability to build it all. What I didn't have was anything of value. So I got tricked into sitting into this chair. I saw the chair, I saw all these great things about the chair, and I made a bet on it. And I sat on it hard. And when I got into trouble, well, so the things I didn't know how many customers there were. I knew there were some, but I didn't actually learn how many there were. Well, yeah, I got one. There are others like it. It's a ... I'll make money somehow. It's not a big deal. I didn't know how much they would pay. So there's a difference between I've got a paying customer and knowing how much they pay. Right? So paying some amount of money. What if it turns out they won't pay enough money? What if no one else will pay that price? Now this chair is beginning to look like a bad bet, right? I didn't know what it would take to make a real sale. My one customer was a family friend. It was someone that I knew. What would it take to introduce myself to someone I didn't know? So yeah, basically what happened is that instead of testing, I built my product. I sat in my chair, I thought I had enough, and I spent 2 years trying to build the product and sell to a bunch of brick walls. So I bet 2 years in a shitty chair because I didn't think to test everything before I sat down. And we all hear about pivoting. How many here know the word pivot? You know what that means? Okay, from here on out, pivot is a failure. If you have to pivot, if you had to go sit in a seat, if you had to understand a business model so well and then build a whole product only to turn out that there wasn't any goddamn money underneath that chair, you failed. You could have figured it out in 2 weeks. With 2 weeks, I could have figured out that no one wanted my product or not at the price point I needed. So don't be tempted by that chair. Even if you've got some money, it's not enough unless they're throwing money at you. And we can talk about how to know when it's enough later. But the most important thing, the most important lesson from tonight is that my failure, I want it to be your success. How many of you guys are repeat offenders in entrepreneurship? How many of you guys have done this before? Okay, a handful of you. Usually this lesson, the story that I'm telling you, it takes a failure. It's my goal, the reason why I'm here tonight, In fact, the reason why I'm in this city at all is because I want first-time entrepreneurs to learn from this mistake. It doesn't make sense that we all have to keep failing to realize that we know nothing and customers know everything. Yeah? Can I get a yes for that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so test time. Okay, let's get a little rowdy again. Let's get a little excited. We brought the mood down a little bit. Let's get excited. Okay, on the count of three, you're going to answer this question. Can you see the future? 1, 2, 3. No. Oh, we're going to get excited again. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Can you see the future?
No.
Thank you. And I'm still not going to figure out. Okay. On the count of three. Well, fuck the threes. Do you know more than your customers? No. Thank you. All right. So in conclusion, it turns out you know nothing. The sooner you know that, the sooner that you can figure out everything. Your customers know everything. And your job is not to execute. Your job is not to build an MVP. Your job is not to build a sign-up page. Your job is to do one thing and one thing only. It's to learn. Yes? Yes. Wonderful. Okay. So speaking of learning, great. We want to do all this learning. Daniel's going to talk to us and help us understand what exactly do we want to learn. Because this is the name of the game. This is what you're going to do out for the rest of your business career is learn, learn, learn. And Daniel's going to show us exactly what we want to learn. Or I'm going to help us out as soon as I get a drink. Okay, so does everyone have something to write with? Piece of paper, a pen, one. Hey, Daniel, how you doing?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. You ready to rock? All right, so we were just at the paper phase, and I think we were going to do, were we going to show them risky assumption with one of their business models or one of ours?
We could do it first, or we could pick one of them.
Yeah, let's pick one, huh? All right, next volunteer.
Who wants to volunteer with this?
Yeah, now that you know it's worth $10.
Now I know what I want to learn.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so
we're going to talk about something called the risky assumption paradigm. It sounds cool, right? It sounds super smart, which, you know, he said he was a pretty smart fella. So come on over here, and we're going to talk about your business. Why don't you stand up and so let's do it. Give us a brief description of what you're thinking.
So I want to set up mini apprenticeships for teens. So 1 to 3 month apprenticeships.
okay. So if you had to just rattle off, you're going to come up with 5 things that could kill your business. Just off the top of your head.
No one wants to pay for it.
What?
That would be one.
Awesome. When you say no one, talk to me about specific customer segment, like
Well, primarily their parents.
your parents wouldn't want to pay for it. Awesome.
Parents wouldn't want to pay for it.
Great.
I can't find any businesses that will offer the apprenticeships.
Awesome.
That's good.
Those are 2 big ones.
Those are 2 big ones, but you got more.
Teens don't like it.
Teens don't like it. That that it's more than I can handle. Maybe I don't have enough people. I think I can do it, but then I can't. I don't have enough time or skills.
Nice. The high school kids suck.
Is that
right?
That's an interesting assumption. High school kids suck.
Right, that no one wants to hire a high school kid, that high school kids will be flaky, that they don't care.
And that they actually are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And consider all the things, and this is for everybody at this point, just crush your business. And that, you know, tomorrow there's a hailstorm that knocks down all schools and everyone has to be, or all business, whatever it is. You can't, it's not going to happen, of course.
Right.
But this is what I'm talking about.
Metro goes out.
You're going to come up with assumptions that could be anything. No longer can people communicate anymore, whatever. These are low priorities. We know people can communicate. We know people can travel. We know people are going to want to do this work, but there's priority in your list of assumptions there. What was the number 1 that you gathered?
Well, number 1, actually, we'd actually, Debbie, what do you think is the scariest? So those 5 that you listed, what's the one that scares you the most?
I think that people don't want to pay for it.
Okay, awesome. So, and parents, we're going to say
Parents don't want to pay for it.
Awesome, cool. So yeah, so now so you guys sort of, we modeled it for you. We show you how to do it. What you're going to do is on a piece of paper. Ideally, it's paper, but if you think better on a computer, that's fine. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to come up with the 5 things 8 things. You want to change it? You got
Let's do
8 things. 8 things. How much do we want to give them?
5 minutes. 3 minutes?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
You got 3 minutes to come up with 8 things that scare you about your business. That if these statements are not true, your business will fail.